Let me set the scene. It's a Tuesday evening. I'm in my rented room and my door's locked. My weighted blanket's on. There's a cup of tea on the bedside table, which is hot for now, but we all know how that ends. I'm watching the Great British Bake Off. Paul Hollywood is staring at a soggy bottom with the kind of intensity most people reserve for life or death situations. Mary Berry is being diplomatic about a collapsed sponge. It's comforting, predictable, the softest, gentlest television in existence. And then my chest starts doing something. Not a flutter, not a twinge, a full-on, white-knuckle, something is very, very wrong sensation. My heart's pounding, my left arm feels weird, and I can't breathe. I can't catch my breath. I'm sweating. The room starts spinning, and I think, I'm having a heart attack. This is it. This is how I die. In a rented room watching Bake Off. Paul Hollywood's disappointed face is the last thing I'll ever see. I actually started composing my own obituary in my head. Jenny passed away peacefully, surrounded by cold tea and unfinished laundry. She was killed by a soggy bottom. She would have wanted you to know it was a metaphor. This happened a few years ago, by the way. I'm lying on the floor now because that's what you do in a heart attack, right? You lie on the floor and try not to die. And I'm genuinely, properly, absolutely convinced that my heart is giving up. My body is screaming. My brain is screaming. Everything is screaming. And then, nothing. It stops just as suddenly as it started. I'm still alive. My heart is still beating. Paul Hollywood is still judging a frangipane tart. Turns out I wasn't having a heart attack. I was having a panic attack in my own home, watching Bake Off, the most inoffensive television programme in the history of broadcasting. And that's the thing about anxiety that people don't understand. It doesn't care where you are. It doesn't care what you're doing. It doesn't care that you're in the safest possible environment, wrapped in a weighted blanket watching Paul Hollywood judge pastries. Anxiety doesn't need a reason. It doesn't follow the rules. It just shows up uninvited and tries to convince you that you're actually dying. And sometimes it does it while you're watching Bake Off. And that is objectively, absurdly fucking hilarious. In a dark way. In a if I don't laugh I'll cry way. Today we're talking about panic attacks. What they actually feel like, why they happen, and why they have absolutely no respect for context, timing, or the sanctity of Bake Off. Grab a cuppa, or don't, I'm not your doctor. Let's get one thing straight. A panic attack is not feeling a bit stressed. It's not, oh, I'm so anxious about that thing. It is a full body, full throttle, no holds barred, neurological takeover. Your brain thinks you're dying, genuinely, with absolute conviction. And your body responds accordingly. Heart racing, not like, oh, I ran up the stairs. Like, I've just been chased by a bear and the bear is also on fire and also the bear is in my chest. Chest pain, tightness, a pressure that feels exactly like what you imagine a heart attack feels like. Because your brain has decided you're having a heart attack and your body is just following orders. Shortness of breath. You can't get enough air in. You're gasping, you're gulping. The more you try to breathe, the more you can't. It's a paradox. It's a trap. It's your respiratory system gaslighting you. Sweating, cold, clammy, absolutely soaked. You're sitting still, but you look like you've just run a marathon in a sauna with a coat on. Shaking, trembling. Your hands are doing a little dance you didn't choreograph. Dizziness, lightheadedness. The room is spinning and you're not even moving. Nausea. Your stomach has decided that now is the time to stage a protest. A sense of impending doom, not I'm worried about something. Genuine, terrifying, absolute certainty that something terrible is about to happen, that you're about to die, that this is it, the end, game over. That's a panic attack. It's not being dramatic. It's not overreacting. It's your brain screaming, fire! In a crowded theatre, except the theatre is your body and there is no fire, and your brain is an arsonist who keeps calling the fire brigade on itself. And the worst part? It can happen anywhere, anytime, for no reason. Driving, sleeping, shopping, sitting on the sofa, watching Bake Off. A part of your brain that is supposed to keep you safe, the amygdala, the little almond-shaped alarm system that hasn't been updated since we were living in caves, decides that the frangipan tart is a threat, and it hits the panic button. The amygdala doesn't know the difference between a lurking predator and a soggy bottom. It just knows that something has triggered the alarm. And now it's all systems go. Adrenaline floods your system, cortisol follows, your body is preparing for a fight or flight response. Except there's no fight. There's no flight. There's just you, lying on the floor, trying to explain to your nervous system that it's overreacting to a cake competition. Let me talk you through the timeline, because it's the absurdity that gets me. Okay, 7:45 p.m. I'm settling in, the room is cosy, my tea's hot, my blanket is weighted and I feel safe. 7:48 p.m. Technical challenge begins. Paul wants a perfect Victoria sponge. The contestants look nervous. I am not a contestant, I am a spectator. There is absolutely no reason for me to be nervous. 7:50 p.m. My heart skips a beat. Weird. Probably fine. Probably just the caffeine. Or the tension. The tension of someone else's cake that I'm not even eating. 7:52 p.m. My heart is beating faster. Too fast. Uncomfortably fast. I try to ignore it. I focus on the cake. The cake is not helping. The cake is indifferent to my suffering. 7:55 p.m. Chest pain. Tightness. Okay, this is concerning. I put my hand on my chest. It feels wrong. Everything feels wrong. 7:57 p.m. I can't breathe. I'm gasping. I'm sweating. The room's spinning. I'm going to die. I'm actually going to die on a Tuesday during Bake Off. This just cannot be my legacy. 8 p.m. I'm on the floor, lying on the carpet. It's not very clean. I don't care. I'm dying. The carpet is the least of my concerns. 8:02 p.m. I start doing the calculations. Who's going to find me? How long will it take? Will anyone notice I'm gone? Does my landlord know the emergency contact procedure? Should I write a note? What would it say? Sorry about the cold tea. 8:05 p.m. It stops. Just stops. My heart slows, my breathing normalises, the sweating stops. I'm still alive. Paul Hollywood has just given a handshake to someone who didn't even get a soggy bottom. And I'm lying on the floor staring at the ceiling, wondering what the actual fuck just happened. 8:10 p.m. I get up, I sit on the bed, I drink my cold tea. I watch the rest of the episode. The world continues. Bake Off continues. The only thing that's changed is that I've been thoroughly gaslit by my own nervous system. Panic attacks don't need a reason. That's the most important thing to understand. They can happen out of the blue. No trigger, no warning, just boom. Here's a dose of existential terror, courtesy of your amygdala. The current thinking is that panic attacks are a misfiring of the brain's threat detection system. Your amygdala is doing its job, detecting threats, but it's doing it too well. It's the security guard who hears a mouse and evacuates the building. It's the smoke alarm that goes off when you make toast. It's the check engine light that comes on because the petrol cap is slightly loose. It's overreacting every time, but it feels so real that you can't help but believe it. The physical symptoms like the racing heart, the chest pain, the sweating, they're real. They're not all in your head. They're in your body. They're very much in your body. Your body is doing exactly what it's designed to do in an emergency. The problem is, there is no emergency. You're not in danger. You're not being chased. You're not falling from a great height. You're watching Bake Off. But your body doesn't know that. Your body thinks you're dying and it acts accordingly. The best bit? The irony? The tragic, hilarious, absurd irony? Panic attacks are actually harmless. They're awful, they're terrifying, they feel like death, but they're not dangerous. It's a false alarm. A false alarm that feels like a nuclear strike. So what helped me? Not a cure, just things that made it survivable. Number 1, acknowledging it. okay, I'm having a panic attack. This is a panic attack. I've had one before. It was awful, but I didn't die. I'm probably not going to die now either. This sounds simple. It's not simple. It's fucking hard. You're fighting your own brain, but naming it gives you distance. You're not drowning in it. You're observing it. Number 2, knowing the timeline. A panic attack usually peaks within 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's not long. It feels like an eternity, but it's 10 minutes. I can survive 10 minutes of anything, even this, even the worst feeling in the world. Number 3, breathing. Forget the fancy breathing techniques. Just breathe in, breathe out slowly. Your body needs oxygen. Your brain needs oxygen. Give it oxygen. That's the whole job. Number 4, grounding. Find 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds like a wellness influencer, but it works. It forces your brain to focus on the present, on the cold tea, on the weighted blanket, on the fact that you're in your room, not in mortal danger. Number 5, being compassionate with yourself. The panic attack is over. You survived. You did it. Don't beat yourself up for having it. Don't call yourself weak. You just went through something terrible and you came out the other side. That is strength. That is resilience. That is you fighting your own nervous system and winning. Number 6, the self-compassion hotline. This is weird, but bear with me. I record a voice note on my phone when I'm calm with instructions for panic me. When a full-blown panic attack hits, I put my earbuds in and listen to my own voice telling me, I'm you. You're okay. You've had this before. The chest pain is physical, not fatal. It will pass. You are not dying. You are safe. We can make tea after. It's weird talking to yourself, but your brain trusts your own voice more than anyone else's. And it stops the spiral dead. Number 7, letting the tea go cold. The tea that was made at the start of the attack is cold now, undrinkable, and that's fine. Future tea will be made. Future tea will be hot. The tea was sacrificed to the panic gods. It's a small loss. I'll survive. Here's what I want you to take from this. Panic attacks are terrifying. They're real. They're physical. They're not something you can just think your way out of. But they're also absurd. They're your brain trying to protect you from a threat that does not exist. They're your nervous system overreacting to something that is not dangerous. They're the house fire drill that goes off at 3 a.m. for no reason except the reason is a spider looked at me funny. In my case, it's Bake Off. Paul Hollywood's disappointed face is the trigger for my existential dread. That's objectively hilarious. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to laugh about. If you have panic attacks, you're not weak. You're not broken. You have a brain that's just trying too hard to keep you safe. A brain that's doing its job too well. A brain that hasn't realised the threat has changed. You're not being chased by a bear. You're being chased by the memory of a bear, by the possibility of a bear, by the feeling of being chased by a bear. And sometimes, just sometimes, you're being chased by Bake Off. And the only thing you can do is laugh, because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. And crying is exhausting, and we're already tired enough. I'm still here. The panic attack passed, the anxiety passed. Paul Hollywood passed me by. I survived it, I always do. You will too. If you've ever had a panic attack during Bake Off or anywhere else, let me know in the comments. Tell me your absurd trigger. The thing that shouldn't have caused a panic attack but did. I want to hear it. Not to judge, but to laugh with you. Because if we can't laugh at our own brains, what can we laugh at? If you're new here, please like and subscribe. It helps more than you will ever know. If you want to support the channel, I'm on Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. The links are in the show's description. Until next time, Be kind to your amygdala. It's trying to protect you. It's just not doing a very good job. This is Anxiously Ever After. I'm Jenny. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some cold tea to ignore, some dying houseplants to research, and an important date with my weighted blanket. And I'll try not to have an existential crisis during the next episode. No promises though.